Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Eating at a Meeting. I don't know why I clap, and it's probably very loud on that. But as you can tell, my normal signage is not behind me because I am in Philadelphia, and I am sitting in the tasting room of 12th Street Catering, and with Chef Adam DeLosso, who is the executive chef of 12th Street Catering, and I'm here in Philadelphia because I was attending the PCMA, Professional Convention Management Association convention this week. And I'm like, why not in Philly? Talk to a catering company. So, and I actually reached out to you a couple of months ago because I'm really interested in the food code here in Pennsylvania was changed that says requires the top 9 allergens being labeled on unpackaged food catering food. And I called Adam to say, do you know anything about this? And he said, no. So, which is a whole nother conversation, but yeah, we can get to that. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. And I got a tour of the facility. This is fantastic. It's really, it's kind of a compact space to do all of the catering that you do out of here. I mean, it's not small, but so tell everybody about 12th Street Catering and so we know what you do and how much you produce.
Okay, so we are here on 33rd and Spring Garden. We're called 12th Street Catering because we started at 12th and Arch at the Reading Terminal.
Oh,
that's where we started.
Okay.
But we're here on 33rd and Spring Garden. We have a 33,000 square foot facility that we do all off-site catering for your events or your drop-off and your delivery.
Okay.
So we'll bring the food to you with staff, or we'll just drop it off and we'll serve it to you and you can have it there. We do around, I think last year right now, I just put out the numbers, we did about close to 400,000 guests served last year.
Wow.
So in between events and deliveries, we do a little bit more. We did about 5,000 deliveries and about 2,500 events in a year. My team, I said to them, we just had a town hall meeting. I said, guys, next year, I want to do 500,000 people. Can we do it? They all applauded. They're all ready.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Well, and I'm thinking numbers because I'm at PCMA and we're at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. There were 4,000 people, but you just said 400,000, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's actually 10 times as many people. But you're not doing it at the convention center. You're doing it in small houses and tents and
we have about 70 venues that we're do business at.
Okay.
14 of them are exclusive that we go to. Okay. But most of the stuff we're going to people's houses, we're going to office buildings, we're doing private homes. We're doing anything anybody wants us to do anywhere. Okay. So we're literally creating a restaurant anywhere.
Okay. Now, all right, I'm going to jump into a question, but I want to know anywhere. What's the craziest anywhere that you've been?
Craziest, I think the weather is more crazy when you're outside than any place. I mean, there's a place over here on top of Sierra Green that we do on top of the building outside, it's a beautiful view. But most of the times it's in people's backyards that I'm like, what is this? This is crazy. We did a wedding. I'm not going to tell you who, but it was a beautiful, beautiful wedding. They did a huge tent, and underneath the tent, they put the tent over top of their pool, which is a gigantic pool. They covered their pool, and they had a glass covering, like roof side, so you could see in their pool. And underneath was all the lights, and then they canopied the whole tent with cherry blossoms. And so it looked like
that was somebody that's just not rich at all.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And I love to be a part of somebody's dream, somebody's vision, somebody bringing that to life it's magical.
Yeah. Now, did you put cherry blossoms or like kind of replicate that on any of the food?
So they asked us, they wanted it a mix between Japanese tea garden food and that was the bride, and then the groom wanted something more American, meat and potatoes. Okay. So we had to mix the two, and that was just their dinner part of it. Their entree part of it, they wanted a garden theme. Okay. So they put a clear top tent in, put a whole garden together, and they wanted all garden vegetables and garden foods served during their hors d'oeuvre hour.
Wow.
And that was their hors d'oeuvre hour, and then they have an after party. It was over the top.
Yeah.
It was over the top.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, wow. To have the budget to do that would be nice. Yes.
And trust us
Right.
to do it is somebody to trust us to do it. Working with people that really trust us to do that is amazing.
Well, and because you've got lots of logistics to figure out, and being able to execute that with all the other partners that are coming in and doing that is it is a huge trust thing. Okay, so I want to jump into the title of this is Event Food and Beverage: Designing Menus That Respect People and Ingredients. And one of the reasons that I wanted to talk to Adam on the show is that when I did call him and ask about the food code, he's like, well, we do a lot of training with our staff, to understand dietary restrictions. And then I was doing research on you, and your Instagram feed, and social media feed is like, hey, let's thank our staff that are delivering everything, right? And so talk about the important, and we were talking about it's about the people, it's not about the food. And we'll talk about that too, but talk about the people that work here and why that's so important.
So my philosophy and my partner's philosophy and our philosophy at 12th Street is you think about people, then you think about product, and then you think about profit.
Right.
And you put all of the people first. But you have to walk the walk. So if you're going to put your intentionality into training, you're labeling, you're organizing, you're hiring the right way. If you're not walking the walk and doing the right thing for your community, those people that are going to be hired by you aren't going to care.
Right.
So starts with you caring with every single person that works here and touching them and talking to them and just understanding, hey, how's your sister doing? And they take that and say, wow, this is who I am. And then they care about it.
Right.
So they'll go above and beyond for the guests. They'll be more happy about working here. You're not going to hit it 100%. Right. In hiring. And then you got to follow up that with every 12th day on 12th day, we do a celebration.
Okay.
And then we award people for our core values, who we call them Glimmer Awards.
Okay.
And we say, who got them? Who got this Glimmer Award? And they get all picked by their peers.
Oh, awesome.
I don't pick them. I have nothing to do with picking them. That we have to narrow it down to a couple people because there's a lot of, but they get voted by their peers on who has the best core values.
Okay.
And they get voted. We give them a recognition, an award, a little gift certificate, and we do a 12th-day celebration where we do a special family meal and we talk about it. Then we do, you have your staff parties, but you have training and you engage with everybody on training. And then we did a cleanup for the whole community, and everybody came, and it was easy. Everybody wanted to do it.
Right.
We did a toy drive for one of our partners for Ronald McDonald House. We had 5 huge bins of toys.
Nice.
From our people. And then we engage everybody, and we have to hire and talk to people that care. It's not about, we have to talk to people when we hire people. You don't need to know everything of how to do catering. Right. You need to care. That's it. And we'll teach you the rest.
Okay. And because if they care, they're gonna, because they want a job. Yeah. And they want a job that they believe in. And I was at the convention center today, and I was chatting. I think her name was Maria, and she's worked at the convention center for 35 years, and she's a server. And she's like, and can you tell that I'm from Greece and all these things? And she's like, but I love my job. Yeah. And I met somebody that was on the cleaning team, right? And she's worked there for 20 years. And I'm like, and I thank them because I'm like, and I told all the servers today, I'm like, I'm a meeting planner and I cannot do my job without you. Yeah. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate the fact that you all put that into your staff, because we want servers that can answer questions and that are greeting our people with care, our attendees with care.
Right. Yeah. And I think that all of our client feedback every week, I share with the team and rate it and say, hey guys, last week we did a 95% or we did a 65%. What can we learn from this? We're going to make mistakes. Right. We just got to own up to our mistakes. That's where the customer really trusts us.
Yeah, because they're like, okay, it's like when you subscribe to something and and they're like, nope, sorry, been there, done that. You're screwed. No, I appreciate that. And I like that whole sense of community care. And I think, and what you just said, you tied it back to the community as well and what you were doing. And I saw on your Instagram things, you do a lot of community service projects and partner with a lot of different organizations.
Yeah. So coming out of, so we went into COVID and almost sort of destroyed us, right? So in COVID, we did a lot of pivoting, and what we did was we fed frontline workers.
Okay.
And we were like, okay, these people really need it. And we found a partner that was willing to help us with that. And then there was people that were food insecure. Let's help them with that. And then we came, so we were helping a lot of people during COVID just to stay alive. And then we came out of it, and I was like, all right, how do we actually help people?
Right.
How do we intentionally help people? We found this institution called the Satella Institute, that they say you need to focus your energy and your focus on 1 to 2 or 3 partners that are nonprofits, because every week we get nonprofits coming at us saying, can you do this? Can you do that?
Right.
Can you do this? Can you do this? And they said, if the nonprofits don't know and can't plan their year on expecting your help, then they're just going to keep on asking for money.
Okay.
So we intentionally said, we're going to look at Ronald McDonald House as one of our partners, because kids, they don't have voices.
Right.
We want to help. So every week we're delivering food to them in their grab and go program. We do their galas. We do a toy drive for them. We go and work there with them. We focused on them. And then we had Morris Animal Refuge, which animals to me have a no voice either. So we do their galas. We're going there. We're helping them. We're helping organize them. And one of the other ones was Trellis for Tomorrow. That is a nonprofit with a gardening plan.
Okay.
That we created a garden out back that 50%.
Here in the building?
Here in the building.
Okay.
I didn't show it to you out back. But we had eventually, and this is a crazy story, but we had a garden. We all, as chefs, love the garden, love to do it. But I said to myself, I think we can be better at gardening. But I'm not a farmer. So we had a garden out front, and it didn't look great, wasn't doing great. And then down the street, there's a place called Dorm Stripe, which is run by Drexel, and they had this beautiful raised bed gardens. What are you guys doing? How can we help? What are you doing here? They said Trellis for Tomorrow comes in, gives you a plan, sets up your beds, organizes all the volunteers, gives you the plantings. You have to pay a fee every year, which is a nonprofit donation to them. And then 50% of whatever you grow has to be donated to people that are food insecure. And we said, well, we want to do this because we like our community. So this year was our first year doing it. We planted 1 harvest. Next year, this next season, we'll have 4 harvests. We harvested 200 pounds of vegetables that we donated to Phil Abundance.
Okay.
And we partner with Phil Abundance too, because they have a program there that takes people coming out of prison or wherever they're coming from, and give them second chances and trains them, and needs an internship, and they come to work with us as an internship. That's awesome. Then they have the ability to get hired with us if they do a great job. And so Phil Abundance has been an amazing partner with that. And then sometimes they need our help with big events or whatever. But we didn't get involved with any of these organizations, the intentionality behind it, and all of it was just to focus our energy so they know they can get support from us, so they can do their planning and they can be more effective.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and it helps your employees get more ingrained into their own communities as well, right? And helps them feel like not just working, but they're giving back in other ways as well. We
don't do the voluntold.
Right. Yeah. But they can step up if they want to. Yeah.
Yeah. And that wasn't the intention. The intention was to make an impact on nonprofits that are really in Philadelphia are important.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we started, I said something that I learned in a class yesterday at PCMA for my friend Beth. We're here to provide ease. That's what event professionals do. What catering companies do, provide ease in what we're doing. And I think that comes with the word inclusion as well, to make sure that everybody has a sense of place at the table. And I did a session at PCMA called A Taste of Place. And it talks about not only incorporating the flavors of where you're living or where you're meeting, but also making sure that everybody has a seat at the table and has something to eat. So what does 12th Street Catering do to put behind the scenes to make that possible at scale? I mean, you're feeding 400,000 people at 50, how many events? How many did you say?
Probably 50 to 60 events a week when we're busy.
Yeah. So how does that happen? 50 to 60 events a week at multiple venues. How does that happen?
Well, first it starts with a conversation with the sales team, with the client.
Okay.
To make sure we understand what their needs are so we can.
And you're the executive chef meeting with them?
No.
No. Okay.
No,
okay.
No. I usually don't meet with them. I have an amazing sales team. And they're all planners. They talk to the client. They say, this is what we need.
Okay.
The client says, I need a certain section. Like, I'll give you an example. We have a huge party that we do for 1,200 people.
Okay.
And they said, we need an entire gluten-free area.
Okay.
Oh, okay, great. We'll put why? Like what's your whole idea behind the gluten-free area? Oh, and it's 1,200 people that we serve. And it's massive amounts of students that come in. So they want a tent off to the side that's gluten-free. Okay. We said, well, we're not a gluten-free facility.
Right.
Because we have flour. So if somebody is really intentionally celiac disease, if flour's in the air, flour's around, if flour gets, so we partnered with somebody that has a gluten-free facility. Okay. And we brought them in, and they do that tent, and they provide that, and then we do the rest, and we keep separate.
And are you doing the same dishes?
Yes, they provide. Not, I mean, if it's a sandwich, we don't.
Yeah.
Generally the same idea, same cuisine, but the client dictates what they want, and then if it's a crazy type dictation, like so that's an example of a large event. Okay. So a smaller, like let's say we're doing a delivery of 20, 30 people, we have to communicate with these people, with our guests, our client, whoever's calling us. We have to make sure the science is correct when it gets there, that it says gluten-free. We have a delivery that goes out every week for a client, and they asked us, we don't normally do this for everyone, but they asked us to do a little check mark on the side of every one of the meals that we individually package for them, and it has the gluten, the allergies on it. Okay. Another client says, we want beautiful signage. We actually have a graphics design and marketing team in-house. Okay. That designs all that for every one of our parties, our drop-offs. So it really starts with the client. Then I have a team that cares. That's it. Yeah. I have a team that really cares about making sure it's right. Right. And then they really care about making sure we deliver. Our goal is to wow everybody. And the way they do that is that they care, and the intentionality is there. And I have a group of 120 people full-time here that are working, and they all care. Okay, so based on recent experiences, well, and old experiences, I mean, it runs the gamut. How does that graphics team, I mean, what's the process of confirming that the signs are correct and that maybe the signs being put in on the buffet are correct, to make sure that they're accurate? Because I mean, that's a lot of different communications. I'm like, you got a BEO, you have a sign, maybe you have a poster because you got 1,200 people. And how does that in your graphics team, your sales team, your chefs, how does it, because what if you change the recipe for one specific client? Yep. Right? Where's the quality control in that? So there's multiple levels of it. First, it starts with getting the menu right and all the ingredients and anything that's there that needs dietary restrictions. Say if we just had a menu meeting and somebody was like nut-free, gluten-free. Okay, let's go over all these items, how they're prepared. If there are any things that are going to call out nut-free, we have to remove the nut from the menu. Right. Right. So if it says pecans on the salad, we have to remove the pecan. It can't say pecan. happens.
Mm-hmm.
Then the client confirms their allergies
Mm-hmm.
and makes sure we double check with them.
Mm-hmm.
Then the graphic team looks at the allergies, confirms with the chefs
Mm-hmm.
that these are the right allergens. And then there's training. There's serve safe allergen training that I put this sales team, event managers, chefs, all go through it. I'll go through it. And they're all serve safe allergen trained.
Nice.
And then what they do is they go back and they look at these menus. And then when we do the event, I showed you how we like pack out the events.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So when they do the event, they pack out the event, they look at the signage and make sure the signage matches the menu.
Okay.
And then when they go there, they confirm with the chef that the signage in the menu works. Okay. And with the food that they're making. There's multiple layers of checks.
Yeah.
I can't just make sure everybody cares.
Yeah.
I guess that's but there's multiple systems that have to be checked.
Right.
Do we miss something? Yeah, yes, probably sometimes. But the staff that's on the party always saves the day. Yeah. They save the day by communicating. The guests, let's say the guests, we didn't know that the guests.
Right. Yeah, that happens.
Sometimes the clients invite 200 or even 20 people. They don't know when they come if they have an allergy. Right. So we make sure we go up to the guests, confirm their allergy, go back to the chef, see what we can prepare right there on site, because we do a lot of our preparation on site. Okay. And then make sure that guest is happy. Right. Sometimes we don't, like in a restaurant, you can say that and you can have a lot of times we're off site, we have the food we made. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we usually empower these people if they need to go to the store and get something for them. Right. Oh. Make sure they're happy. That's like that story from the Bayer where, and Will Guidera from mentioned that he went and got the pizza off the street, whatever, and making sure that, because the server had overheard that they hadn't had a chance to have New York City pizza. How do you teach to go above and beyond? You can't. Right. You can't teach it. It's got to be in somebody that wants to do it. But you also empower them at the same time to saying, hey, we want you to care. We want you to be who you are and take care of that client. Yeah. I remember one time we were at a special dinner. We were doing a special dinner and it was amazing. The client was like, hey, I really like this. I like this drink. I was like, I don't know how to make it. We don't have any of the alcohol here with us. And so we were luckily in Center City. So we went out to the store, got all the ingredients, made the drink for him. Wow. And made sure he had the drink that he wanted. Right. Because the bartender was like, I don't have that. I don't have all that stuff. And the bartender was like, before he said, I don't have that stuff. He's like, sir, let me just confirm that what you want, I'm going to make sure it happens. Wow. And that's it. That's it. We went out to the store, we got everything, we brought it back to him. And that can't happen all the time, depending on where the venue is. Right. Exactly. If you're in city center, there's a liquor store down the street. Right. Or Trader Joe's or something. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. So we were talking before we got on the show, we were talking about sustainability, and a lot of what we've been talking about falls into that as well. But I think I read it in a story, that you planned a carbon neutral event. Yep. And so can you talk about why did you do that and what did you learn from that experience? Because sustainability is huge, and I'm sure you're getting calls from clients saying, hey, we want to be sustainable. What do you do? So what was the impetus for that? Was it for a client or was it? No, I didn't. No, some of the things, as a brash executive chef, I just do things because I want to. Okay. Right. And realizing that sometimes I have to collaborate with people to make it actually happen. So one day, not last year, maybe the year before, in September, in Philly, it was like smog central. Okay. And it was just clouds of Canadian wildfires coming in. And it was a week of just being under this gray blanket of smog, and they had like warnings that you had to wear a mask if people were asthmatic. It was a problem. I was like, man, this sucks. I was like, this is horrible. And I was like, you know what? Everybody does the farm to table thing, right? To cut down on sustainability and do all that stuff. I said, that's nice, but how can I take it even further? How can I actually do it even further? And I said, okay, well, what if I go to farm to table, source all the local ingredients from the local
Mhm.
farmers, and then I see how much carbon footprint that does.
Right.
I was like, well, how do I know that? Right? How do I legitimately know that? And so
Right.
we are at the Academy of Natural Sciences. It's one of our exclusive venues.
Okay.
And I said, is there any scientists here that could help me? I was like, because I'm a firm believer, if I don't know how to do something, I got to find a who to figure it out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I partnered with this scientist and said, can I calculate this food item and how do I do it?
Mm-hmm.
How do I do it? So he came up with a calculator. He found, there was actually research went online.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Research went online and said, yes, this is legitimate. Okay, great. Let me test it out with you to make sure I'm right. And I said, okay, how do I now offset any of that carbon footprint I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, you got to plant some trees.
Okay.
He's like, or you got to do vegetable, you got to do something to offset it. So I found this company that actually plants trees, and it's hard to find, and he helped me find it, and he helped me legitimize it.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people you donate money to, it goes nowhere. It's called Trees for the Future, and they plant a tree, and they'll actually plant a tree in the sub-Saharan Africa, like in the desert, to create an environment where you can grow. You can have soil and you can grow crops, and they teach the farmers how to farm.
Oh, nice.
So and he's like, okay, so what is the number?
Right.
So he's like, for your carbon neutral menus, we can calculate at least 1 tree per person for these menus to offset your carbon footprint.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, great. So we partnered with Trees for Tomorrow. Last year, we planted around 10,000 trees.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Doing this, but I didn't sell that many because people were like, not into it.
Right.
Just because I wanted to do it doesn't mean
your
it's really
customers weren't into it.
Yeah.
And you were selling it, hey, here's a carbon neutral menu?
Yeah, and it wasn't more expensive. It was right in line with all of our other stuff. I did it for a couple people.
Okay.
It wasn't a huge, overwhelming I want it, because I realized that it's not important to everyone.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So, and how hard was that? How hard would it be to do that for all of your menus and just make that the standard?
Well, the way that the hard part about it is the volume that we go through.
Okay.
Our local farms can't support the volume that we go through.
Right. Okay.
Feeding 400,000 people. I get pallets of food in. Now, our local purveyors that we work with that will source locally when we have local produce, but we live in the Northeast.
Right.
So the local produce
is limited time zone.
Yeah, like right now in the middle of the winter, you don't get much.
Right.
And not everybody wants kale and like winter vegetable. You know what I mean? So we have to cater to our clients, but my heart and my passion is to make sure that we do the right thing for the environment. Okay. So even though we didn't sell 10,000 carbon neutral menus this year, we said, let's keep on going. And maybe eventually somebody will listen.
Right.
Maybe eventually.
You'll find those clients, that want that, yeah.
Yeah, and we're sourcing locally when we can, and if the clients want it, we source it locally. But to source locally for that many people, our local economy can't. Like our farms in this area, unfortunately, can't do it.
Yeah. And what do you consider local? Is there a mileage thing?
25.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 25 to 30 miles in this area. And it was
That's pretty local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could go farther.
Right.
But then your carbon footprint's bigger.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I think under the terms of the FDA or USDA, whoever it is, it's like it's 100 to 400 miles. But that's taking you down to North Carolina.
Right.
Yeah.
And is that really that really what it is? And that's not supporting my farmer down the street. So we have an amazing cheese company that's right down the street from here called Third World Cheese. And her idea.
Is she on 3rd Street?
No. Amazing. She came up with this idea that nobody was really delivering and wholesaling local cheeses. Okay. So she does a whole local cheese program. It's amazing. And she's right down the street, and there's a Doe Run Farms right outside the city. It's an amazing creamery dairy, and they make great cheeses. And I was like, okay, let's connect it. So we have local cheeses on our
Okay.
menu. We have local produce on our menu. Does everybody always buy it? I'd rather they do.
Right.
But I realized as a chef that forcing things down people's throat doesn't always work. You know,
Right.
and forcing my ideas on people.
Can you go around the country and say that to a bunch of chefs, please?
Yeah.
There's some that are like, you eat my food the way I make my food. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a business too.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
gotta run a business, have great clients.
Right.
That's what's important.
Very true. I mean, and your clients, your how many repeat clients do you have?
A lot. I don't even
Yeah.
know. I don't even know. A lot. And we actually did a pivot we were for years doing a lot of corporate business.
Mm-hmm.
And we realized that after COVID, some of the corporations weren't coming back as much. So we said, let's focus on our social business. And last year we were like, let's do social. Let's really put our focus on there, come up with menus, come up with ideas, talk to people. And then we won Philly Best Wedding Caterer this last year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and it's some of the weddings that we did and some of the promotions. So I think whatever we put our effort into and our minds in front of, we can do.
Right.
Especially with catering. It's not like just a menu in front of you, like a restaurant.
Right.
We can drive that change.
And we were talking before the show too, because you started in restaurants. And
Yes.
I mean, you started with Thomas Keller. I'm like the bottom of the barrel there of restaurants, right? What's the difference and what brought you to this side of the culinary world?
I got bored in restaurants. I got bored with the same menu every day. I could do specials, you could do stuff, and you're changing the menus, but I got bored. I got energized with creating an entire menu that people love, and I can work with the clients sometimes, and be able to see, and we created something out of nothing. Even a whole restaurant, like plates, tables, it didn't exist. We bring in everything, we do everything. That is exciting and it's challenging. And I wanted to challenge myself. Okay. And maybe I'm crazy for trying to challenge myself, but I feel like that drives my ambition, that drives my innovation, and it drives the whole team.
Well, and also with the creativity and aspects, walking through the back of the house today here, I mean, there were what are the black crates called? Or just
we call them clicks, but
clicks.
Like the bread racks.
Yeah, the bread racks. Yeah, that's exactly what they were. So they're lined up right there. I mean, and do you know Todd Annis down in Charleston? He during the COVID, he had a podcast called Catering What the F, and like was just telling stories of the craziness things there. But you're doing 50 events a week in multiple locations, and the logistics of all of that, and like you thrive in that. I guess we all thrive in that chaos of trying to figure it out and the pieces of the puzzle. But how does that? I mean, do you have daily meetings? How does it all work in doing that? And are you actually a tangent of that sustainability wise too? Are every one of those menus 100% different, or are you trying to, as the term called, gang menus together and kind of sell similar menus to multiple groups?
So 2 different sides of our business. So our drop-off catering part of their business, I'd say 80% of our menus are our core menu that we come up with. Okay. The other 20% are customized. Okay. So that's our drop-off menu where our check average is like $25 to $30 a person. Okay. We just deliver it to your corporate office and we drop it off for you. Those we're doing 50 to 60 a day. Wow. Right. And that's when we're busy. Right now it's a little January's a little slower. So then our events, we have a core menu. We have a lot of menus on our events. And I'd say 50-50. Okay. 50 is our core menu and the other 50 is hybrid customized menus. Okay. Right. How many recipes do you have in your Rolodex? Too many. Too many. Too many. Like it's too much. And I think that recipes are really, really important. So I teach all my cooks and all my chefs that recipes are a guide. They're not your God. So you have to follow the guide to make sure you see the allergies and you see all the intentionality in it, but you also have to taste it, smell it, touch it, you have to be a part of the recipe. You can't just be a robot.
Right.
And that's what cooking is. It's all about your soul and your cooking of it. You can't just throw a recipe together and pretend like I see things on Instagram. Oh yeah, that'll work. It doesn't work.
Right.
Because you didn't know the little bits of it.
Right.
And so we have a lot of recipes, but it really comes down to I have a great team and I set trust. So we have meetings, each team, we adopted this thing called entrepreneurial operating system.
Okay.
You have L10 meetings, meaning level 10 meetings, and each core group has a meeting once a week.
Okay.
And then we all get together for a menu meeting to review the menus for the week. And then we all go over any high level things that are happening. And then any custom menus that we're doing for clients, like we came up with this sensory dinner menu.
Okay.
So do each one of your touch each one of your senses.
Oh, cool.
So we'll have multiple meetings about that. Anything that's customized that we'll plan with the planner, maybe get on touch with the client and make sure that the client knows. So we do these parties for sometimes QVC that brings in product from another client. We'll get on calls with the people that are supplying the client, the salesperson, the chef will be on there. And I want the chef and the manager that's working the event also be in that meeting.
Right. Yeah.
And so you see that. So that doesn't happen, out of 60 events, might be 30, 20 of them. But we're doing it and people love it. Like, I think we're doing okay so far. You were like, what we're doing?
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool because food is more than just shoving it into your mouth. I mean, it's aroma, it's look, it's touch in some instances, and then it's that taste. There's the sixth one. What would be the sound? How do you do sound? Oh, actually, I'm going to bring that in. There's a restaurant in New Bern, North Carolina, Cypress Hall. It's like the biggest farm to table restaurant in New Bern. But he does a hot pimento cheese with pork rinds. And the hot pimento cheese comes out in the lodge.
Little cast
iron thing. And his pork rinds are crackling when they come out. And I mean, it's not the most healthy. It is 100% not healthy food-wise, but that just added that other sense to it, right?
Well, so can I give you away what we're doing for sound?
Sure.
So I've done these dinners different times, and every time I do a little bit different. So I thought the best way to invoke sound is we're going to do a lobster course.
Okay.
Right. So we're going to bring out. I want to have the ocean music of the ocean, the sound of the ocean, and the waves hitting the rocks in Maine.
Nice.
So on the table you'll have sound. You hear that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do the lobster and have it really, because the lobster is pretty texturally soft. And we're going to do the lobster and we're going to do crispy potato on top of it. So when you bite down on it. And then I found, get this, neutral pop rocks.
Oh, wow.
That when you put them in your mouth, it'll start to fizzle and you can hear it and sound the sound.
Right. Wow.
So you're exposed to that whole experience there. Yeah, sound is hard.
Right. Yeah.
Right? But
that sounds amazing. Actually, there was a candy. What is the candy?
The cotton candy.
Cotton candy, thank you. At PCMA last night, and he was putting champagne pop rocks in the cotton candy, so people were eating the cotton candy and getting that. I'm like, okay, no, that sounds really cool. I mean, because you've got all the six senses, and because it does invigorate and it does bring people together to have that conversation about food too.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it in multiple different ways, but it's really the client wanting what do they want.
Right.
So sometimes the client's more pedestrian, sometimes the client's they want upscale food.
For pedestrian pricing.
Sometimes you work with them.
Right.
I mean, the ability to work with people is really important.
Right.
And to have that conversation.
Right. Because, I mean, you could find a balance, like, hey, let's do something this and then do not so much on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about wow experiences, how do you make sure that person who maybe is kosher, Orthodox Jewish, and or who has an allergy of some sort still gets that wow experience with that sensory?
Yeah. So it's hard. We need to know about it in advance.
Right.
Hopefully we know it in advance and we can plan around that. So we have a lot of really good kosher caterers that we partner with
Okay.
that could actually help us with it.
Okay.
We actually have a couple chefs that used to work in kosher catering
Okay.
that have really good partnerships with it. But if we know it in advance, we can really blow people away without making a big deal and making like an interruption towards the menu. Say you're a shellfish allergy, and we're serving you lobster.
Right.
We have to, if we know about that in advance, we can blow you away. And if we don't, we can still try. We're still going to definitely try to not get your allergy.
Right.
But I think the intentionality is that we're given that effort to do it.
Right.
And have that conversation with those people to try and do it. Most of the time we blow them away with our service, our kindness, and our ability to care.
Right. And you can't do that 72 hours in advance. It takes a little bit more time.
Yeah, you got to know about it.
When you're, because I'm thinking hotel menus are, you have to convert, turn in your final numbers 72 hours in advance, and you can't do that. And I know catering's a little bit different because you are getting hired a lot earlier than in some cases.
5 days is right now we confirm our menus.
Okay, 5 days out. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
From your seat as both executive chef, and I didn't say this at the beginning, but chief operating officer, right? Where do your clients, event planners, underestimate the complexity or the opportunity around food and beverage?
So,
because I think a lot of people just wait till the last minute and say, here's our food and this is what we're serving, especially at a convention center or a hotel. But
right. And, we're the biggest underestimate, and I'm taking this from a chef perspective, is that where are we going to work to plate the food?
Okay. Yeah.
Like they usually design this place, or we're at an office, or we're at a place, and they're like, yeah, you're over there in the corner. Well, okay. Well, we got how many people are we serving? Right. I looked at we were at a venue yesterday, and we're having a party for 600 people. And I was like, all right, well, where are we serving it? The most complex thing is, how do we make that work and seem effortless in a space? We need a little bit of space. Right. And usually that's the last thing that everybody thinks of. And we have to jump through hoops to get the space. I don't really need running water. I don't even need an oven sometimes. I don't even need a stove. Sometimes I can use little cassette burners. It's like camping. Right. But you need a space that's not in front of the guests so they don't see the action. It's and sometimes we do stations that you're cooking in front of guests. Right. But all that stuff we're bringing in and setting up has to go somewhere. Right. And that's the last thing they usually think about.
Well, and then now I'm thinking of all the other things, like where do they unplate or clean up, and where does the trash go, and and how is that taken care of? And it's a lot, and so you have to bring the caterer in way in advance in that conversation.
You have to, you have to. We do site visits, so we go through the site with them and say, hey, where are we putting our trash, like you said? Right, yeah. What is happening with that? Or where are we doing rentals? Like we usually rent a lot of stuff. Where does that stay the day before? Right.
Yeah, because they can't show up that morning.
No, I mean, we can. There's things that we can time stop and get it delivered right there that morning. It costs more, but they need to be able to pick them up the next day. Right. Like if you're having a party until 12 o'clock at night, they could come and pick it up at 12 o'clock at night, but they could stay the next day. So some of that stuff is not thought about. Okay. But then I think that, and I'm learning this as I get, older in this career and everything. I think a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on making sure if you have a meeting, right, and you're doing either a fundraiser, you're having a podium, somebody's talking. The food and beverage service should just be there. Right. It shouldn't take over the entire event. Right. It should just be seamless and be there and be comfortable, and you should be focused on the person that's speaking or the person that's giving a presentation or a fundraiser. We've done a lot of fundraisers where their intention was to raise money, not the food. Right. Yeah. Right. So how do you make that effortless so that they can get their programming in and raise their money that they need to raise? We did the Ronald McDonald House fundraiser, and I think they raised over like $500,000. I don't know exactly. It was a lot of money. Right. And I was, whoa, this is crazy. But we were there and it was effortless. We just served them food. We didn't get in their way. They could have plenty of time to do their programming, and that's important.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and then maybe at the same time, your food is providing that wow experience, but subtly.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's comforting them.
Right.
They have a little more energy. Maybe they got their wallet more out.
Right, yeah, exactly,
Right.
exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. If every planner listening changed one thing about how they approach event food, what would you want that to be?
You changed how they plan event food. So, I mean, I
Or
think one of
approach it, yeah.
yeah, I think I'm done with the mashed potato bar type idea. Like, stop. I know people love it and want everything, but I think, and I'm trying to change the way that they're planning, and we're planning the way we look at stations.
Okay.
So I'd rather start with the station. The station doesn't start with the food.
Okay.
And where it's placed in the room, the planner has to make sure that it makes sense in the room, that it's not hiding in a corner. You were telling me a story about where a place, you didn't even know that the buffet was there.
Right.
So the placement of where you're serving the food on a station starts with the placement of it.
Right.
Then you work with, okay, how big is the table? Is the table going to take up the room, a small portion? Is it going to be high table, low table? And then what does that linen look like on there? And then start with your risers. Your food is the last thing. Even your signage goes before your food.
Okay.
So I think reinvent, instead of, okay, we're going to do a food station. Well, how does the flow of the room work?
Right.
Are people going to see it? Is it in their way?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you going to have a line at the bar or at the station that makes the event horrible?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
People don't think about that.
No, they don't. And I'm also thinking trade shows, and how do you set those up, and where are those stations, and where
The flow.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a room, you have to look at the flow of the room. And also, if you're putting, say, 200 people in a room that has 600 people that could fit, that's a completely different story.
Right.
You have to know the amount of people you're doing and the flow of that. This one party we looked at yesterday, it was 600 people, and I was like, where are we going to put the stations, and how do we do this? And I didn't want to impart more space where everybody's sitting.
Right.
So maybe we can put the stations in another spot, or maybe we can shift the whole dining room down a little bit. So you have to be creative with it.
Yeah, it makes me think of like architects who design buildings and they forgot to put storage units, right? And like you've got to figure out, like, hey, you've got this trade show, yes, and you've got the floor plan designed, but hey, you're having a cocktail reception in there. Where's the food and beverage going to go for the people to have it? Is it in the I did one last year in New Orleans, and the exhibit hall was over here, but the entrance to it was where we were serving food. And like, how do you guide those people over there and then keep them from out of,
it's hard. But also you have a lot of people. If I went to a wedding one time, I never forget this, with a couple of friends of mine, and they were like, we're going to stand by where the hors d'oeuvres are coming out so we get the hors d'oeuvres. And I was like, what? Really? This is a thing? I was like, okay. So I was like, maybe the hors d'oeuvres can come from multiple places. Right. So people don't just get, and you have these hors d'oeuvres coming and the servers coming from multiple places.
Yeah, because you're like, oh my God, it all got eaten before it got 5 feet out the door. Right. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. So we have a couple of rapid fire questions.
Okay.
One ingredient that always tells a better story when sourced locally.
Ramps.
Ramps, really?
Yeah, I have a funny story about ramps, but I love ramps, and it's a certain time of year the ramps are coming around and they're wild.
And what is a ramp for everybody that's listening?
It's a little like a leek, but garlic, and it's grown it's wildly grown. Okay. And it's kind of looks like a leek, but it has a lot of garlic flavor in it. Okay. And it has a leafy top to it. So you can take the bottoms, you can do pickling the bottoms, you can take the tops and make a puree out of them. And so I'm getting these ramps, and I found a friend that was like, oh, we're going to go foraging for ramps. Okay, great. I'm excited. Found out that I didn't forage for ramps. I foraged for like something else that was ramps. So now I'm like, I'm going to buy the ramps from somebody that's what they're doing.
Right, exactly. Because you don't know. I mean, like, I'm thinking Hunger Games. Don't eat that, you're gonna die, right? Yeah, no, that's a good thing. All right, most overlooked role in a successful catered event.
So there's two things. First is the utility person, the
Okay.
guy that's taking all the dishes, the dirty dishes, the
Okay.
rentals, and making sure they're stacked up right.
Mm-hmm.
If that is broken, the entire event goes down,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what's more important to that is that everybody is smiling.
Okay.
The servers are smiling. The guests feel welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's overlooked, and I make sure our staff knows, hey, you guys got to smile. It's important that people know that you enjoy. We're here to have fun, and it's an event.
Right. Okay. One small detail that instantly builds great trust. I think you just said smile.
Yeah, you have to know people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to develop a relationship with people, and it's not through email. It's not through text.
Mm-hmm.
It's through a phone conversation, a lunch, and also you got to be okay with saying, maybe I'm not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I might screw something up. I might
Mm-hmm.
not do it right. But you have to say, I'm sorry. We did this. We're going to make it right.
Okay.
And then they build trust in that communication.
Right.
And you have to have that communication.
So this is not on my list of 5 rapid questions, but what you just said, it reminds me, like, so there's lots of conversations about AI, and, so I could ask you, like, how are you using AI in your catering, in the catering side of it too? So that would be an interesting question if you want to answer it, but also looking at like AI, people are wanting to get together in person, like in-person events are so important. I think the rise of them is even escalating even more so. So how do you see that both of those things playing out in the business?
So I have a 17-year-old daughter that might be listening right now. Hi, Ava. But getting together in person, I think the new wave of people that are like even the younger generation right now is unplugging.
Mm-hmm.
And they realized that, there was this gap in COVID where nobody like got together.
Right.
And then we got back and everyone's like, we're getting together. And then realizing that your phone, your email is so disconnected that you don't have these connections. And we are a society of like all people want connections.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we're over inundated with all the connections through social media and everything.
Right.
And it almost like brain freezes you.
Yeah.
And, my daughter, 17-year-old, was like, don't use AI, Dad, don't. There's drinking all the water. It's most all the water. And I don't use it in the fact of, hey, I need to come up with a new menu, right? Maybe I'll use it and say, hey, research an idea I have. But we're trying not to use it as much as communication with our team and what we're doing, and reading and educating ourselves and having the time to think about something. Right. Is really important.
Yeah, it is. Okay. When do you know an event meal truly worked?
The smile on the guest.
Okay.
Or the guest is really happy at the end of the night. And if I'm not there, which I can't be at every party, we get a lot of great client feedback. So we ask every time after a party, what's your feedback? How did we do? How can we improve? I heard this our quarterback Jalen Hurst say one time, right? He lost this huge game. They're like, well, what do you think about that loss? He said, there's no winning and losing. There's winning and learning.
Oh, I like that.
And so we adopt that approach to learn from anything, to make ourselves better. So any critiques, anything criticism, we need to know it right away and learn from it.
All right, awesome. And you have to do that after the game the other day. I'm so sorry. And okay, so my final question is, finish the sentence. Every meal should
begin with a conversation, end with an amazing dessert.
Awesome. I love that. Yes, no, that's fantastic. And for me, a gluten-free dessert. Yes, yes. All right, thank you so much. This was fantastic. I really, really appreciate it. And everybody that was listening, we had a couple of viewers on there and we got some thumbs up. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you tuning in. Ava,
Ava,
Ava, thank you for tuning in if that was you. Really appreciate your dad spending time with me. Next week, the next 2 weeks, actually, because it's dry January, I am talking about non-alcoholic beverage market and what we can do to and emphasize that in our event. So until then, everybody, stay safe and eat well. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, actually, how does everybody get a hold of you?
Email or
what?
website?
How do people find you to hire you?
How 12thstreet.com.
12thstreet.com. Not even catering.
No, I'm sorry, 12thstreetcatering.com.
12thstreetcatering.com. I don't know where the other one goes to. Okay, all right. Until then, stay safe and eat well. Thanks, everybody. Oh my